You ever look at a financial report and just your eyes glaze over? It's like a wall of jargon and numbers. But what if I told you that inside every single one of those documents, there's a story? A detective story, really. Well, today we're putting on our detective hats. We're going to take one confusing document from Aditya Birla Money Limited and crack it wide open. Okay, let's get into it.
And here it is, our mystery. This is what the raw data actually looks like. It's a total mess, right? Just a jumble of codes and numbers that don't seem to mean anything. But here's the secret. This isn't noise. It's a code. And hidden inside are all the clues we need to figure out how this company really works, where the money comes from, where it goes, and, the final verdict on whether they're winning or losing.
And the best part? You don't need some fancy finance degree to figure it out. In this explainer, we're going to crack this code together, step by step. I promise, by the end of this, you'll see exactly how to turn this chaos into a crystal clear picture. All right, every investigation has to start somewhere. And for us, that means getting the basic facts straight. We need to know who we're investigating and what the ground rules of the case are. So let's get our evidence board set up. The company is Aditya Birla Money Limited. We're looking at two specific timeframes, the second quarter of 2019 and the entire fiscal year of 2020. Now, this next part is super important. See where it says unit of account? It's in lakhs. That means every single number we're about to see needs to be multiplied by 100,000 Indian rupees. If we miss that clue, our whole investigation is going to be way off. Okay, facts are down. Now we can start following the trail. So where do we start? It's simple. The first rule of financial detective work is to follow the money. We need to figure out where the cash is coming from. Let's track that revenue. We're diving back into that messy source code, but this time, we know exactly what we're looking for. We're hunting for one specific clue: segment revenue. Buried in all that mess, these are the lines that tell us exactly how the company makes its money. This is our first big lead. And bam, here's what we found. In that quarter, the company's money-making engine was almost entirely powered by one thing: broking. That's basically the business of helping people buy and sell stocks. And look at that, it makes up a huge chunk of their income. This is a massive clue. It tells us their whole business model is built around market activity. Okay, so now let's zoom out a bit. How does that one quarter fit into the bigger picture? Well, you can see the total revenue from that quarter was just under 4,000 lakhs. But for the whole year, it was over 16,000 lakhs. This tells us the business was bringing in money pretty consistently all year round, not just in this one little slice of time.
We've seen the money coming in, but any good detective knows that's only half the story. Now we have to flip the script and investigate the other side of it. Where did all that money go?
This breaks it all down for us. The two biggest slices of the pie are employee benefits, paying their people, and other expenses, which is a big bucket for things like rent, marketing, and tech. Put them together, and that's almost 80% of all their spending. So the big takeaway here is that most of their money goes right back into running the business and paying their team. Okay, let's put our findings side by side. On one hand, we have the total money that came in, just over 4,000 lakhs. On the other hand, the total money that went out, a little over 3,600 lakhs. The income is clearly higher than the expenses. We are getting really close to our final verdict.
This is it, the moment of truth. We followed the money in, we followed it out. It's time to bring all the clues together and answer the big question. Did Aditya Birla Money actually make a profit?
All right, here's the final calculation. We start with everything that came in the door that quarter, a little over 4,027 lakhs rupees. From that, we subtract all the expenses we just investigated, which came out to about 3,620 lakhs. And that leaves us with the bottom line: a profit before tax of over 407 lakhs rupees. The evidence is undeniable. More money came in than went out. That simple, powerful story was hiding in the numbers all along. And just like we saw with revenue, this wasn't some one-time fluke. The profit from this single quarter was part of a much bigger profit for the entire year, over 1,650 lakhs. This just confirms what we suspected. This was a consistently profitable business. So we cracked the code. We turned a super confusing document into a story that actually makes sense. But why does this really matter? Let's close the file on this case and talk about what we've learned. The story of Aditya Birla Money, at least during this time, is actually pretty simple. Their main business, broking, was a fantastic moneymaker. They managed their costs, like paying their employees and keeping the lights on, really effectively. And the result? They were profitable. See, we didn't just find numbers, we found a narrative. Income, expenses, and the result. That's the story every single financial report is waiting to tell. We started with what looked like absolute gibberish, and we ended with a clear, simple story. Turns out, you don't need a special decoder ring. You just need a method, a way of looking at the evidence. Every company out there has a story just like this one, written in its own financial code. So the only question left is, what will you decode next?